Hey guys, JoJo Cross is here. This is JoJo. So, I have to do a little voiceover because my computer was acting weird when I did this. Well, not the computer, but I was just having some issues. Anyways, today we got Bo and there's a DIY workshop. And I kind of just went through a few things to get some villagers moved in and stuff like that so that you weren't having to sit there. But there's Bo. He's here on the island. Hi, buddy. He's so cute. I'm glad I got him. I always love having him. And we have Leaf this day. And Apple's moving in. So that's cool. We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. Hey guys. I'm popping in here because I had to insert a few clips. Sadly enough, I forgot to film when Isabelle joined the island, so we don't get her cute little pop-in performance, but we have our resident services, and I just sat down to ask her, since all of our extra villagers have now moved in, and we are at our 3 stars. Woot woot. So now, of course, Nook has KK Slider's phone number just by heart in his phone there, and has all along, by the way. Why didn't he just call him before and say, hey, our island's coming along, come on over? But no. Anyways, so yeah, we're going to get our KK Slider day, which will be tomorrow on the island. It's so cute. Yeah, so now I gotta make this island look somewhat decent. Because right now it's a shambles. All right. She's gonna introduce the famous KK Slider. He is here. He is ready to perform the Welcome Horizon song. I'm sure most of you have been there, done that, seen this, but I feel like it's, a coming of age of the island. You have to celebrate the old KK Slider visit. So here we are, and all my cute little villagers are going to be there. It's nice because they all are together and no one's in their house at this time. So you get to see all of them, which I like. So yay, there's everybody, including Brewster. I mean, not Brewster, Blathers. So Dora, Cherry, we got Bud, Sprinkles, we got Rodney, Apple, and Timbra, and then Bo. Yeah. So all the new villagers. I like when he goes, when he starts the video. I think it's hilarious. like I have experience. I'm cool. Anyway, I won't show all of this, but we'll show the end. It just goes through all the credits. Everyone always thinks that's the end of the game, but honestly, it's just starting. So then I'm going to be accosted by Nook at my house because apparently that was just all a dream, or I don't know what happened, but here he is again for the second time outside my house stalking me. But this is where he's going to tell us that we have first of all, we get the music, from his performance. And then he tells us he's going to be there every Saturday. And then now he's telling us that we're going to have permission to do the terraforming, which is great because that's going to be a lot of this video here is some terraforming coming up. So yay, I got that app, and then we'll go over, I've been saving my Nook miles because I knew this day was coming soon. Usually to get to 3 stars, you have to have a certain amount of trees and flowers on the island. You also have to have 8 villagers minimum. And you have to have about 50 furniture items, including DIYs and non-DIYs on the island. And it includes clothes, shoes, socks, like anything you get, fish, you just have to place it on the island. So, as far as I'm aware, those are the main things. They'll tell you if there's anything you need to work on, but now we're just going to clean up a little bit. I didn't really clean up before KK came, but now it's bothering me that all this stuff is everywhere. And so I'm going to pick it up. And what I usually do is I keep the stuff that I think I'll use in the future or that I could change the color of or whatever. And then I generally will either just sell the rest or give it to a villager if it's something I think would go in their house, something like that. But you don't go backwards in stars. Well, you do, but you don't go backwards in your capabilities. So if I go down to a 1 star right now again, they're not going to take away my terraforming or something like that. You just keep moving forward. But if I go to Isabelle now, that I take all this stuff down, she'll probably say you're a 1 star again. But she won't take away my terraforming or something like that. So you can clean up your island and then get started, doing your stuff. And usually by the time I start building and everything, I'm like, I get up to that 50 pretty quick again anyways. So it's not like it's a big deal, and then I always have way more of everything than they need. I'm just collecting all of my last minute miles that I've built up because I want to have enough in here. I have quite a significant amount at this point just because offline I've been, fishing and catching bugs and just doing stuff to make the Nook miles go up because you need quite a bit. Now he's telling me because I did upgrade my house also. So I have a big bill to pay, but since I use the no islands, the bells are not a problem. But if you guys do it naturally, which I did on my last island, it is a lot of work. So I commend anybody who is just keeping their island completely natural with no treasure islands or anything, because it is actually kind of hard to do. So now I'm just paying off that bill because I do want to upgrade a couple more times. I need to have enough storage because I like to collect a lot of things from the treasure islands. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the house again and make sure that that's underway for tomorrow because I'm going to need definitely more storage. And yeah, so I'm doing that with him right now. And then I think there's 2 more expansions. So this is an upstairs, and then you can do a basement. Once you have those 2, the only thing left is to expand storage location or storage stuff. So you can expand how much your storage will store, but it doesn't put any more rooms on your house or anything like that. So now I'm buying the capabilities to do all the terraforming in the ABD. You have to go in there and check that out. And so that just gives me the capabilities to do rivers, to do terraforming, all those things. So I'm doing the cliff one now, and then I'm going to head over and get all the different pavements and stuff like that. So I won't show you all of that. I'll cut that out. So then I went to Harvs and I did a little picture with my villagers just to get that initiated, And then today, we have KK. It's a Saturday. Well, actually, yeah, it was a Saturday because yesterday was Friday on the island when I got my little 3-star performance. So that worked out interestingly because then he came 2 days in a row. But now he's talking to me about my remodel, but because I've been upgrading my home as well. I think he put the upstairs on this time, so that's good. And then there's a few new things in the Nook Stop, so I wanted to go see that because there's a lot of Nook miles and stuff I can redeem, but let's see what's in shopping right now. Get the song for sure. I need music. Always have to have all the songs, y'all. Also, in this video, there's going to be a lot of terraforming. I don't know if you guys even like to watch terraforming or anything. I tried to like do a little bit and then clip and then do a little bit and clip. But I'm really trying to shape the island before I get started on like some of my builds and stuff. So there's that. and it's a lot of terraforming. So and then a lot of like waterway work and stuff like that, because I'm trying to do a certain shape around resident services and stuff. So anyways, I was just paying off my house again and stuff because, you know, I got bells at the treasure island, the no island. So anyways, yeah. So I think I'm going to upgrade my house here again. And that way that'll get underway because I really do need the storage. So I want to make sure that gets going, you know, because there's going to be a lot of things. I feel like Christmas is not cluttery, but definitely has a lot more little decorations and stuff. So anyways, now we'll head over and see what we're going to do as far as getting started on the terraforming and stuff in the island. It's definitely like something I just like to get like just knock out in the beginning because it kind of gets old, you know. And I know some people like to do it like per build or whatever. I may end up changing stuff, that's for sure, but I like to get the majority of the chunk of it out of the way. I'm gonna clean up some of this stuff from trying to get to 3 stars because there's still gonna be like little things all over the island. So, you know, because I just throw stuff everywhere because you're supposed to, you know, have 50 items down and they like to see it kind of all over. So, hi Dora. She's so cute. I didn't have a present for her, I don't think. So, I'm not as diligent about the presents when I have a themed island and stuff because I'm not worried about like getting their photos or getting items from them and stuff. So, badly enough, like sometimes they're going to be mad. This is where I'm standing up here, and to the left of me is where I'm going to be doing most of the terraforming on top. But there's going to be a lot of water work up here too. But I keep looking at my map because I need to make sure I'm getting the right chunk of land out of the way. I want the middle open back here so that I can put a sunken museum. So but about where this water is right here, or maybe a little bit forward from that, is where I want to put the museum. And then I kind of want it like surrounded by cliffs so that you have to walk up a ramp and down a ramp to get to the actual museum itself. So anyway, I'm just getting started on this little water area up here. I'm going to scoop out, you know, or fill in the water. And then we'll move towards like getting all these trees out. And we're going to get the flowers out of the way. Just whatever. And then we'll get this chunk of land out. So it's going to be like a lot of terraforming and stuff today, but it's okay. I'm going to not show you every single moment of it, so you don't have to worry about seeing it. Like here, yeah, we cut to the chase. So the water's filled in, waterfall's gone. We'll get all these flowers picked up and trees. So I did end up getting one of these little wood sheds at the No Island, which is so handy. I think in the game, you don't get it until you get to the expand storage section. So you have to upgrade your house completely, which is like to the 2.5 million mark, which is a lot of bells. Probably couldn't do it anytime soon without going to a treasure island or getting some bells from there. But anyways, and then you do expand storage one time, which you have to pay upfront 500,000 bells to Nook when you do it. The next day you have extra storage on your house. I think it brings you up to like, I want to say 3,000 or 3,600. I can't remember what the number is. You can upgrade that twice to expand storage up to, I believe 5,000 is the limit of how many items you can have in your storage. And believe it or not, I have had that completely full, and actually so full that I had to stop collecting items. But I used to have a, back in the first days of this game, I got to a point where I had a friend on Facebook who ran one of those islands where you can go and basically catalog everything. Which cataloging is when if you pick up an item and then put it down, it goes into the memory of the game that you have basically touched that item before, and then you can order it. And so what I would do is I would go basically pick up all the items at this island that she had and then catalog them. And then I went back to my own island and I would basically just do a cataloging island, and I would have lots of people flying in and out cataloging certain sections of furniture and stuff. So I would do like maybe one day I would be open and people could come and catalog like all of the Christmas toys and tents and the plushies and like all that. And then I would also do like maybe all the winter wear, and then it was actually a thing that everybody really loved to come do, because at the time everyone wanted one of everything. They wanted all the colors and availability, and so it was kind of fun, and I would meet a lot of people through that. And I kind of miss those days when people would come to your island and pick stuff up. I used to do Nook and order things there and sell stuff there for bells and stuff. So I had a good time with this game in the beginning. It was definitely one of those things that got me through the 2020 terribleness that I think a lot of people found refuge in here, you know. But when we were home bored at home and didn't have anything to do, I was doing this and having a good time with it. So anyways, and it's a cozy little game. It brings comfort and joy. So there's really nothing bad about this game except maybe addiction. This does have addiction for sure. But I don't see it as too bad of a thing, because it's also a very creative game and it gets your mind working and keeps you busy and maybe a little distracted from daily life, which I think a lot of us need on quite a lot of occasions. So mental health is a big issue right now, and it's important, so you really need to take care of yourself. So anyways, this little terraforming section, this is kind of how I terraform. I usually try to do it in little strips, and then that way I'm not wasting my time. Like this right here, I waste my time because I had to do 2 hits for one chunk. But normally I don't do that. I just forgot and hit it in the wrong place and stuff. But anyway, but most of the time you'll see what I'm doing here is I do each little part, and then that way it's just basically 1 hit each time, and then I'm not like wasting time. And then I'll go through and kind of snake around and get the rest of this. But that's how I do it, and it seems to work out and make it a little easier for me, and I don't mind terraforming too much. I actually kind of like terraforming. It's a little bit where I can just kind of zone out and think about stuff. It's probably another reason why I didn't really talk while I was doing this, because I kind of like to just do it when I can just sit here and chill out and not worry about anything and just kind of listen to the ASMR of the game, you know, because I do like some ASMR for myself, so it's pretty good. And this game is good for ASMR, I think. I really like all the sounds of the game. I like the little sounds it makes when you go into your storage and like click around to get items and stuff. Like I like that sound. I like listening to other people do it. I like mine, so yeah, it's pretty good. I think this is a good game for that. But anyway, hopefully you guys aren't too bored by this. It's like I say, the first half of this video is a lot of terraforming and stuff, and then I think the last half we're going to do a little HHP. So if you're interested in seeing any of that, I don't show you like the entire process. I just kind of show you like beginning, end, and how it ended up kind of thing. But I think we do a little bit together in the beginning. So feel free to stick around. If you don't like it, of course, just fast forward. It's no big deal. But, you know, if you're liking any of these videos at all, I would really appreciate that. I would really just love if you would subscribe so we could hang out together more often, because I think it's fun. And I follow a lot of people I like to watch while I'm playing, when I'm not, you know, doing the voice at the same time and stuff. I can sit and watch people's videos while I play and stuff. And I do that a lot, especially while I'm trying to get through like the HHP on the game and stuff. That's when I really watch everybody's videos the most. But I'm always watching. Like, if I'm subscribed to you, I watch all of your videos. I try to comment if I can remember, but so if you have a YouTube and I'm not aware of you, let me know. You know, put your name of your YouTube down below, or, you know, just let me know that you have one, and I'll go to your YouTube and check it out, and give it a listen. So yeah, I for sure want to support other creators and help this community stay big. I foresee a future of a new Animal Crossing coming eventually, although I'm questioning when that will be, because they just announced that this will be able to be played on the new console, and so I'm like, I don't know what their priorities are as far as getting Animal Crossing a new one. But what I do know is that Animal Crossing has been a giant moneymaker for Nintendo, and that they are definitely going to want to create a new one for people. It has been a number of years since they had a new one. I think I mean, obviously 2020, and they tend to go maybe 6-7 years between remakes. So, but I think because this one actually had such a good following and so many like just really dedicated players to it, that they've maybe prioritized it a little higher. So I do think it'll make the cut at some point. It may not be a beginning one, but I think it'll come shortly after the new console comes out. Probably this one, Zelda, Mario, those are going to be one of their heavy hitters, you know, Splatoon, all those ones that people really enjoy. So yeah, I don't know. What's your guys' feeling on on the new console coming? I'm just super excited to hope for a new game. I'm hoping that they listen to us as far as some of the things that we've wanted in these games. I know one of the major things that I've always hoped for is that they would do where you could multi-batch stuff. Like, for instance, when you're in trying to purchase outfits, let us multi-purchase at the same time. Like, just pick a ton of stuff. Or if we're making crafting, like, let us craft 10 things at once instead of just one. Like, I don't know why it's such a problem to have to keep going over and over again. And then maybe just cutting down some of the dialogue throughout the game, as far as giving us some sort of an option that says, have you played this before? Yes. So you know the game? Yes. Okay, then do you want any instruction during this game? No. Okay, perfect. Then let me just get started with my island. You know what I mean? Still go through the process, obviously, because that's part of the fun of the beginning, is getting your new island, having to do some of the tasks and stuff. Like, I think that's definitely a necessity, but there's just some times where there's so much talk. And then also flying from island to island, going to the Dodo Islands and stuff. You should literally be able to go start your day off going to an island, and then go to the next one, the next one, the next one if you want to. And not every time you land have him to tell you, catch some bees and shake some trees or whatever. Like, we know, we've done it 1,000 times. Like, you know what I mean? So just those sorts of things. But I also get where they're trying to make it a cozy game where you're just kind of taking your time and enjoying yourself, having some fun, you know, that kind of thing. So it's one of those things. So that they're just gonna do. Right here, I'm marking where I feel like the line should be, where my mountain should stop, because I need to dig out this chunk, and then I realize my pockets are like entirely full, so I need to go empty some of my pockets because, you know, they're full. Oh, the other thing, I want them to make it so that if you buy a backpack and you put the backpack on, you have extra storage. Like, you should literally have extra storage. And then if you go to try to take the backpack off, it should say, you have stuff in this backpack, so you can't take the backpack off yet. And then you can go empty it in your house storage or something if you want. But I think it should extend your pockets. Like, if you put a backpack on, it should give you 10 more slots. Like, seriously. Because even like in the beginning of the game, if you didn't have the ability to buy like all 40 slots yet, it would be cool that you could just put on a backpack and be like, okay, well, at least I have 10 more slots for a little while, you know? And then if you need it or want to, you know, have that storage, it's there. So anyway, that's another thing I wish they would do is make that actually an operational situation. And I think that you should, when you give your villagers clothes or really anything, wallpaper even, I think they should have to put it up in their house. Like, you know, I don't understand why they have to keep their house a certain way. And I also don't understand the beginning villagers having to have this standard crappy looking house. Like, why not let them have their normal house that they normally come with, like without being a starter villager, and then maybe those items that you had to make to go around the house and in the house, maybe those have to be incorporated in it, but they don't take away from the actual like straight up decor, because you only give them 3 items. They don't take up the whole place. So I've never understood that, because it's just kind of, I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit annoying. Now with HHP though, that really does help as far as making it so that we can have a little control over that, you know. I think it's pretty good, but without HHP, like there's some people that can't afford it or just don't want it or whatever. I think that is a little bit of a bummer for people, because they can't change it unless you kick the villager out and bring them back or something like that. So anyway, I don't know. I could pick on this game a lot. I mean, honestly, the game's great. I can't, you know, say really bad things about it because I absolutely love it, but there's definitely some things that they could take from their players and suggestions and stuff, and that would be really cool. So anyway, so I'm going to start carving out this bottom cliff. I'm trying to stay like out of the way of this right side so that it stays a cliff, you know, because I have some other plans for that up there. I'm going to put some houses and stuff, maybe my house. And then I do end up going too far back here, and I actually carve out quite a bit, and then I'm like, I'm not in the right spot, because then I think I look at the map and I go, oh, I wanted to be forward more. So you're going to see me like kind of carve out in a certain spot, and then I end up going back, filling that back in, and then coming forward a little bit. But you don't watch all of this. You know, I told you I'm going to save you the drama, so I'm not going to make you watch this whole thing. I just kind of take you through a little bit of terraforming, and that way you can kind of, you know, just see the process. And obviously you all have done this too, so it's not like it's any secret or anything. But like I say, I like the ASMR of the game. It's kind of cool, and I like that. This is where I thought, oh, I'll put the museum in the back, and then I remembered that I wanted the museum to have the cliffs behind it. So then I started going forward a little bit, because I thought, oh, okay, well, I need to go up here. And then I was like, wait, I think I'm still in the wrong place. So you'll kind of see, like, I kind of bounce around, which is maybe annoying for you, I don't know, but I'm doing my best. So it's definitely interesting to see the process though, right? Because there's a lot of trial and error, and like trying to see what things I want to do or what works. And so we all do that, I think. So here's me realizing, like, okay, what was I doing? And then I decided I'm moving on to I want to fix these rivers first, and make a center area. So I needed to see where the center of the island is. So I'm putting a little mark here to show me where center is, or at least somewhat center. Center, I'm considering, is where resident services is, even though it's not entirely centered on the island. I know that. But that's where I'm splitting the island, because I told you my one half is going to be the warm villagers, and one half is going to be the cool villagers. So left side, I think, is going to be the warm villagers after all, because they ended up all spawning on that side instead of the other side. So I had it the other way around originally, and then I was like, I don't think that's what's gonna happen. So it doesn't really matter which half is what. It's just for some reason my brain was going that direction. So I do have to replace the bridge on the left side, because I think I did the gray bridge, and I want the warm half to have like the brick bridges and brick inclines and stuff. And I'm going to use the brick majority for all the inclines and stuff, except for just on the icy side, I might do just the grays, so that it kind of blends in with the white and blue coloring, a little more than like red coming in. So anyways, and I'll probably won't have too many like fruit trees on the island or whatever. I'm going to use mostly pines, not only because I'm kind of going for a little bit more of a foresty look, but also because they remind me of the holidays, and because they get decorated. They're going to have all the little decorations, so they're so cute. But I am going to put some of the little normal sapling trees in, just to add a little difference in the environment and stuff. So I will have them there for sure, but it'll be majority pine trees around. So in the beginning, I'm going to probably be chopping down a lot of fruit trees and stuff like that. But anyway, when I come back from this video and we start moving along, I think you're going to see, like, I'm going to put in a lot of pathing and stuff ahead of time. And I think I'm going to try to mark where I want my trees before I do a build, so that I can kind of plan it out a little bit better. Because I feel like sometimes a lot of the chaos of my videos is trying to figure out where I'm putting trees and bushes and flowers. And I was watching Mumsy Word. She's a gal from Europe. I think she lives in the United Kingdom. I'm not sure though. She could correct me if I'm wrong, but she lives over there somewhere. She has an accent, an English accent, and she's great. If you haven't watched her, she's a very beautiful decorator, and she seems like a really sweet person when she's chatting with everyone. But she marks all of her trees and bushes and flowers, like where she's going to put everything. And it's actually kind of cool, because then she kind of knows where she's going with it and stuff. So it's kind of just more organized, you know what I mean? So I think that's good. But right here is where I want to put the bridge, like where it's centered. The sad news is that you cannot center the bridge like with resident services. So it's going to be a little off kilter, and that actually drives me nuts on this game, because I think I try like 4 or 5 different times to put it in the center, and it just won't go. And I'm like, gosh darn it. It's like, it won't do half tiles. That's another thing on this game. Like, oh. So anyway, you will see me on the struggle bus for a minute trying to figure it out. But I thought, I'm just going to leave that part in here, because it's the reality of what we're doing, right? This part right here, like when you're trying to make a bridge and like carve out the waterways, is my least favorite thing. I hate how the land comes apart, and so many times I try to like hit it to break it, and instead it builds more land. So I'm like, ah! Like, I want to scream a lot of time. Like that. Like, it just filled it in. I was like, doggone it. And then I was like, whatever. So it's just kind of annoying. It does it so much, but it's probably just how you're standing, your little character standing or whatever. But there's also a part here too where I made it too wide, and I didn't realize that. So that's also part of the struggle bus, is I'm like, oh, well, it's a little too wide for the bridge, so I have to fill in a little bit too, but it's okay. It's like I said, the reality of the game is, I think everyone kind of goes through this, so. But I do like that we can terraform. That was a really good addition to the game, because you can really be highly creative with that, instead of just being stuck with what you got, you know. But I have done non-terraforming islands. I've also done like completely flat islands. Did not like that, actually. The island, unless you have like a city core maybe. City core works really well with non-terraformed islands. The only thing is, though, I think a lot of times in city core you need to build up some buildings and stuff. And so if you make a rule or something that you can't terraform, well, then you can't really build up your buildings too high or anything. But if you are allowing that, you know, if you allow yourself to do a little terraforming for that part, it works really well to have a flat island for most of the city core parts. So, but I've never actually done a full city core island. Maybe I will eventually, but I am just, I'm not that good. I see these creators and how they make these fake buildings and these just amazing areas, and I'm like gobsmacked, you know, at like just how amazing they are. Not even close. Like, I'm still stuck in beginner cottage core in my mind. So I'm just like, I'm not up to par for that. I suck compared to these people. So they're amazing. And the people who can do like the Japanese core, oh, they are amazing. I've seen some islands that I'm just so astonished by, and I can't believe they've even thought of those ideas, you know what I mean? So anyways, if you're one of those creators, all the respect, like seriously, respect, because I am not that kind of a creator. I'm not that good. We're kind of getting to the end of the terraforming, I think. There's just a little bit more left. Not much though. And then, like I said, we'll get to a part of the video where it's a little more things going on and stuff. But I know every now and then I get someone asking if I will show the terraforming a little bit. Yeah, so it's telling me my river's too wide. So this is where I'm like struggling. And also I'm kind of looking at where it's going, and I'm like, oh gosh, it's not going to fit in this little gap at all. So, yeah, it's it's one of those things. Just part of the game, you know, but I do wish that they would let you do it on a half tile, like the bridge, because bridges should be able to go a half tile around, you know. It'd be nice. There's other things that can go half tile. I don't know why the bridge can, but whatever. I'm not the boss. So I'm standing directly in line with the top of resident services, and you see it shifts to the left, then it wants to shift to the right. No matter what I do, I cannot get it in the center. Like, that is not center either. But it ends up where we end up okay. But yeah, you can even see the little steeple shadow right there of resident services. It is not lined up at all. Yep, right there. So this, where I'm standing, is center where I want it, but it will not. It shifts left, right. So anyways, there comes a time where I'm just like, okay, I realize it's not going to work. So I just go with it. Like, okay, fine. So there's that, and like I said, it's not gonna be in line exactly, but it's as best as I can do. So that's the part where I'm like, no, it's not what I wanted. But what can you do? What can you do? It's just the way the game is. So, anyways. And then I realized I don't have enough bells to pay off Lloyd, and I'm like, doggone it. So I had to go in and get like 400 more bells, but it's okay. I think the rest of the terraforming I end up doing offline, so I'm not going to show you any more of that. We're going to move on to Happy Home Paradise, and I'll give you a little tour too of what I do end up doing. So, just so you know, it's a coming. So you are almost done being tortured with the terraforming part of things. I if you hate it, let me know. It's okay. You don't have to love it. You can fast forward through it too. But I thought, I'll just chit chat with my peeps and say hi and chit chat about some stuff. So anyway, we pay off Lloyd, and then we're gonna move on to some other things. So that's how it's gonna go on this one. There's Apple. Hi, Apple. All my little villagers are just checking out what I'm doing. I love that they come around, but sometimes they get in the way, and I'm like, no, move it. Anyway, thank you for watching this part. We're coming to the next day. See you in a minute. Hello, I'm back, and this is the next day. If you endured all that terraforming, well, you are amazing. So Cherry asked to go. Today is the day she's going to be in boxes. We're not going to do any villager hunting on this video, but I just thought I would show you. All right, well, we're going to grab our mail. See what we got in here. And I'll show you everything I did, because I did finish all my... I didn't finish, but I'm pretty finished with most of my terraforming. I wanted to get the island in shape so that it's ready for the next stages, and I've also been working a little bit on HHP. I think I got 11 done now. Oh, goodbye, Cherry. If she wasn't so punky / Halloween, I'd keep her, because she's super cute, but doesn't fit in with this island, obviously. So she was the first to ask to go on this island, because I think we've gone through enough time. Say hi to Bud. He just be out here. I think I do have a gift for him. Let me see. I think I do. If I don't, well, bummer. Oh, I do, yeah. I had a few fossils that weren't donatable, so might as well give it to the villagers. A flower sweater. Aw. I'm gonna wear it. Hold on, let me see what it is. I think it's my, it is. I think, no, maybe it's not the one that I was wearing, but yeah, it's one of the ones that I used to wear a lot. So anyways, here's what I've done since we last saw each other yesterday. Obviously this bridge is in, and I think, yeah, I'm not sure if it was in the other day, but I put Able Sisters over here. Oh, hello, Timbra. Oh, she's teaching me a reaction. Oh, very good. I got a few now. I bought the books inside Nooks and stuff like that. Speaking of Nooks, let's go in and see what's in our ABD and our Nook shopping. And then I do need to buy an incline while I'm in here, so don't let me forget. I wish you guys could talk to me while I'm doing this. I guess I could if I did a stream or something, but I'm not sure when that will ever happen. I have to technologically become a little more savvy, because I am not smart enough right now to do that. I'm barely getting through to this. So I have a very wonderful husband who helps me with a lot of the technical stuff, and he actually does all of my thumbnails, And he's great, but me, I'm just figuring things out as I go. So I'm pretty computer savvy, but not a ton, like not as much as some of these people on here are amazing. So anyway, let's get an incline because I want to be able to get over to the museum, and I have, first of all, the biggest frustration is that it can be even. I'll show you what I mean when I go put this ramp down, but I put the museum back where it's supposed to go and stuff. I gotta go take some money out to pay for this too, and I think it was 200,000, 198, maybe. Anyways, I put the island where, the museum where I assume it's supposed to go, but I assume it's supposed to go where I want it to go, like centered in the island, as centered as you can get. This island's not super symmetry, but it's pretty close. Did I check this? Oh, a sapling. Okay, I'll take it. Anyways, it's as center as I can get it, okay? And by the way, did you notice it's snowy here on the island? I did, and it's amazing. I'm happy now. I'll be really unhappy by the time we're at the end of this video. There's saying hi to Sprinkles. So here's my bridge that goes over, and then this is where my museum is in the back. Okay, so it's, and there's my first snowflake I see. Anyways, so yes, pretty straight. All this, if you look on the map, is lined up with the front of the island. So we have museum, resident services, airport, and believe it or not, all those entrances are lined up. However, when I go here, the entrance is 3 wide. Yep, see that? 3 wide. This is 2 wide. So it's going to be like off-centered, just slightly to the right. I would love to put it exactly right here, but that's a half a tile too far, or whatever, to the other side. So anyways, I'm going to put the first incline here because I really want to make sure it works. Let me imagine it. The only time I've ever done an incline going down to the museum was on I did a little froggy island. See how that's a little off kilter? It's just a little off kilter, but it's as good as we're going to get it. So, but it does fit, so I'm happy about that. We'll pay off Lloyd. It gives me a tiny bit of room in front of the museum, but I honestly don't want to do a huge build down here. The main build was all the terraforming, which I'm going to give you a little tour of here. You can kind of hear and see all the waterfalls around the museum as it is. And I'll show you my map too. You can see what I did. It was quite a lot, actually. It took me about maybe 2 hours or so to get the island where I want it. So here's my map. We're standing in front of the museum, and you see the 2 ponds, or the waterfalls that were on the right of the museum. I kind of made them converge into the middle, and then come down the center, and then meet, and then go around resident services, and then off to each side at the bottom. So, and I have most of my bridges in, except for I need one on each side of the Nooks and on the side of Abel's. So I'm going to put 2 more bridges there. So down here, right of Taylor's, and then left of the shop. So that's the last 2 bridges, and then I have 1 more incline to go in the front of the museum coming across that bridge. But otherwise, I did all my terraforming, so I'll kind of I'll take you around a little bit. I guess you can see it really quick, but I made the 2 waterfalls coming in on either side of the museum to make it kind of cool, and then you'd walk in from here. This is where my other incline needs to be, and then these rivers come down, and then they meet up with the circle. This is the circle that goes around the resident services. Yeah. And then resident services entrance is down here, and this is absolutely, like, I had no idea it was exactly so straight, but it's exactly straight. So that's really cool. So I'll put we'll do an entrance here probably soon, maybe tomorrow or the next day. But anyways, and then there's still a bridge on each side, and this right here is going to be my tree farm. I'm going to put a villager here, and then I'm going to put a villager here, and then I'm going to keep these two here, and then I'm going to keep the one up here. And then my house is going to go here. So I will be next to another villager. And then we have all this space here. I haven't decided what that's going to be yet, but we'll do something nice with it. And then if I come this way, I can just show you up top here. There's my heart pond. I did not have the heart to tear it out, so I left the heart pond there. I thought it's a cute little addition back here. This is more just a pretty area. We are going to keep our villager here. Not sure what I'm doing with their area yet. Each villager is going to have some sort of a cool yard or some kind of task they do or something. Oh, I see Gulliver sitting over there on another bender. Then this house will stay here. I am going to move these two houses. One will go here, and then the other ones are going to come down here. So we'll have one here, and then there's one. Where to put the other one? I think that might be it. One here. Yeah. One here. This one's staying here. And then we have that one. This one will stay here. One will move here. And then over here, I think I just left this one up top. So that'll make all my 5. So anyway, and I made marks so I would know where everybody's going. Yeah. So, oh, there's one over here in the trees. So anyways, that's the gist of the island and what I've done for terraforming and stuff. So I'm actually going to run over to do some more HHP right now. So I don't know if you want to follow along with that. I'm going to go ahead and record it. I'll probably just do maybe 1 or 2 houses, and then on my next video we'll have Abel's in. I need to do some shopping for some designs, and I don't know, is that something you guys would like to watch, is me shopping for my designs that I'm going to use on the island? I'm not sure. Let me know, okay? Let me know if that sounds like a good idea. I'll still record it and then maybe make a whole video on it. I'm not sure. All right, here we are inside, and it looks like they have a few things that I would like to, a couple things I'd like to get. I want to get another one of these trees. I've already purchased one. Oh, a new service. Pay for their purchases later. Yeah, so this is, you can get kind of credit, you know, like if you don't have enough money with your pokey. What is this one? Oh, reception counter. I will take that. And I can always use, what is the name of, Cyrus. I can always use Cyrus to customize something to a color I want if they don't have it here. So anyway, I'm going to go pick a villager, and I'll show you who I pick and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to pick Joey. A, because he's cute. B, he wants a place where he can drink a latte. I'm assuming he wants a little coffee house. So I'm going to pick his house area, and I'll be right back. Okay, so he wants a cafe that's also a spa, and this is also how I'll probably get a lot of the rattan furniture. So he's a good one to pick. So yeah, I'll be right back when I get to his house. Okay, so this is how I ended up doing the outside of his house. Just some bushes, some flowers, and I made his house a little bit in the Brown family. Alright guys, this is how it turned out. So he wanted like a spa slash coffee place to drink coffee. So this is what we ended up with. So I think it turned out pretty good. We'll tell him we're done and then take some pictures and off to the next one. Alright, and they taught me new effects today. So this is what I was talking about you can make butterflies come out of things. I always think it's so cute to put it in the plants and stuff. So Anyways, I put butterflies in Joey's place, so I just thought I'd show you. They added that to the choices, but your choices are like these. So you can make something talk. Like, for instance, I'll do this, and then I'll put it here instead of the sparkle, and it just shows that it's talking, you know. So you can also do something like if you want it to kind of just look like something's coming out of it, you know, you could do that. And it looks like electricity's going through it, you know, so it's kind of cool. So anyways, I'm going to put back the talking though. I think it's good because it's actual music. So, oh, it makes it bigger. So the longer you hold your A down, the more effects you get. So like the butterflies are on heavy duty effects, but you can make them less, you know. But I like to have a lot. So anyways, that's it. All right, I'm done with HHP for right now. Just did that one house. I'm going to get out some bells because I already initiated one stop, and that's Cyrus and his gal. And now I'm going to go initiate another one. I'd like to do Leaf in case I need to get bushes and stuff. So he's usually the second one I always do. Yeah. Yeah, so he's the customizer, which is nice because in almost anything in the game he can customize. It's not worth it to go to him if it's something you can do on your own, but if it's something you aren't able to customize, then definitely, so you can make it the color that you want. So, anyways, I'm gonna pay Lloyd off. And then it looks like Harriet is going to give me a haircut today. You get a haircut every time you upgrade one of these booths. I'm looking out for my little round braids, but it won't be the first one. I think it's just a little like bob cut today. We'll see. Oh, no, it's the bun. All right. I'll take that one. It's okay. All right, so we got a new haircut, which is good. I'm feeling fresh. No. All right, and then yeah, so over here is Tortimer. I like to bring him in because you can get into your storage over here. So if you want to do a lot of things to Cyrus, then you go to Tortimer. You can put stuff away and you know, get stuff out. You can also put stuff away with Wilbur and them. They'll take it home for you, but you can't get anything out of your storage with them. So anyways, and then Red would go here. I'm not really going to care about Red, but I'll probably put him in just to get a haircut maybe. And then this one is Kix. I'll probably get him to get bags and stuff. And then Sahara, oh, this is the fortune teller, I forget her name. And then Sahara. So anyways, yeah, they'll all be in eventually. I'm just doing them one at a time, of course, because that's all you can do. You're not allowed to do more than one a day. So anyway, I'll come back the next day and we'll get the rest going. Alright guys, well that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hi Timbra. And if you followed this whole time, I really appreciate you being here. If you like the video, if you could give it a like and also subscribe. Tomorrow when we come back, we do need to do a small villager hunt. Well, not tomorrow. I think it'll be whatever, Wednesday or Friday. And Abel's sister should be in. And then, I don't know. We'll see what other activities are going on. I might tackle the entrance that day too. So anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a great day. And we'll see you in the next one. All right.